Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. This is the first time today I've picked up the crochet. This is how far I've got with the bag I'm doing for Emma. I have been busy in my garden today. Or some of today, not all of today. I did a little bit knitting this morning after I got up and finished tidying up. I did a little bit, little babies, I started little babies thing. I'm using this, I only have one ball left of this King Cole Splash. I did a little cardigan like this a little while ago. It was an 18-inch one. And it took the whole ball, plus a tiny little bit of this ball. So I'm only doing a 16-inch with this one. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to try and match up the stripes like I did on, well, actually on the other one, when I did the back and then I come to do the two fronts, the two fronts matched up themselves. I didn't have to do anything to try to match them up. There must have been just the right number of stitches and the right length and everything. But I'm not sure how this one's going to work out. And with only having the one ball, you do waste a little bit when you're trying to match stripes and that up. So I better just knit as it is, as the wool comes. So that's what I started doing that. And I've also started doing a little tutorial on this one. It's just the little 3x1 mock rib, you know, with the purl stitch on the other side. But you only knit, 3 stitches and purl 1 stitch on that side. And then on the other side, you just purl all the way across. That's as simple as that. It's only a 2-row pattern. It's very simple. But I thought I want to do some smaller ones because I am writing it down in my book what I'm doing. And I've got the 18-inch written down in my book. But I have got a PDF for a 24-inch for this one. But when I'm looking at the number of stitches I have on for this and what I had on the PDF, I've got more stitches down here because it does go in a little bit, this one. So I'm going to stick with what I've got here. Otherwise, I would have just copied down what I had on the 24-inch PDF and wrote it down there, because I'm eventually going to delete all those single PDFs, those single sizes, and get them all into one with multiple sizes. So this will be the second one. I'm going to have to knit the other 3. I'll have to knit the 20, 22 and the 24 again. I can probably work the 24 out from what I've got on the PDF without having to knit it. But the 20 and the 22, I'll have to knit that. So that's what I've been doing in the morning. I do that up till lunchtime. And that's what I did this morning. And then after dinner, well, I had one of my neighbours come calling on me, wanted me to do put a couple of films on disc for him. Also, that took a little while, you know, you have to have a little bit chat. You can't just tell everybody get out after they tell you what they want. So after that, I went into my garden. My grass was really getting long. It must have been about a foot long. I thought I'm going to have to cut it. It was a lovely day. The sun was shining and it was quite warm. And actually, most of this winter, I have been wearing, well, you can see a bit of t-shirt under my sweater. I'm wearing t-shirts under my sweater and I'm starting to get a little bit warm. I think as the weather's starting to get better, I don't think I need to put a t-shirt under a jumper anymore. Because I was really sweating like something not right when I was out in the garden. And it took me ages. Normally I can, in the height of the summer when I'm out every week cutting my grass, this is the first time I've cut the grass this year. Normally I can practically run up and down the lawn with the large lawn. I have 2 lawns in the back garden, a very large one and a smaller one. And I can usually run up and down that lawn and do it in half an hour. But it took me, it must have been about, I went out about 2:30 and I just finished. Looking at the clock, it was about 4:30 when I looked at the clock, and it was taking that long, and I must have emptied the basket on the lawnmower. I must have emptied it about 100 times. I have 2 bins in my garden for compost, and those are both full of grass now. And that's just the one lawn. I still have the one up the top to do, and I have quite a large one in the front garden to do as well. But I just couldn't do any more. You know, you're not used to doing things in your garden because you've been sitting on your settee all winter and that, and all the spring just doing knitting and all that, and my body's not used to doing things like that. So that was all I could manage. So I just put the lawnmower into my back passage beside where my outhouse is. I've just put it in there the way it is. I haven't bothered cleaning it or anything. I'm going to get it out again tomorrow and finish off, hopefully do the other 2 lawns tomorrow. It's not going to be nice and warm tomorrow as it has been today. It was about 15 degrees here in the where I live, and it was a really nice day, and I really enjoyed getting out in the back garden and doing that thing, but it's a pity it really tired. I could not do any more. I nearly fell onto this settee afterwards. Made myself a cup of tea. Well, I don't make a cup of tea, actually. What I do, I make a pot of tea in the morning. There's about 4 or 5 cups, I think, about 5 cups in that pot. And I have my cup of tea in the morning, and then I have a large flask, and I fill that flask with the rest of the tea, and all I have to do is pour myself a cup out of that flask whenever I want one. And it's still hot. This is 4:45 now, and the tea is still hot. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just sitting having a cup of tea and doing a little bit crochet, and I will show you a little bit, just a little bit of my garden. What I was doing, I left one little quarter to show you what the grass was like before I started cutting it. And you can hear me moaning on that video as well. Well, that's just one little corner left to do. And by God, it took me ages to cut that. So that's what it looked like, and you can see how large that lawn is that I have to cut. But at least it's done. You know, they say that you shouldn't cut your grass until a certain time because of the all the weeds and things, the dandelions and things that feed the insects and things like that. But you know, the grass would be up to here if you left it any longer. There's plenty of weeds still in my garden. I do have to start digging some of the places over if I want to put any veg in my garden. So there's still plenty of dandelions and things for the insects and that. And I was going to do 1 row of double crochet and 1 row of triple crochet, and then another row of double crochet, another row of triple crochet. But I thought when I started 1 down the bottom, 1 row down the bottom, and then I've done the triple one. Oh no, I'll do two double crochet, or single crochet if you're in United States or Canada, or in double crochet. That's what the Americans and the Canadians call, what we call triple crochet. It would be so much easier if everything was just the same in every country, but we all have different things. Even the size of our needles and hooks and that are all different in the United States, except when you come into millimeters, which that makes it a little bit easier. So that's doing a little bit of that until I make my tea. I'm not going to do my tea till about 6 o'clock because I need to sit down for about an hour and have a good rest before. But I did a little bit on my own last night. I've actually started, I think that's the last row of the rib I was knitting, where I left off in the middle of the row last night because I just couldn't keep my eyes open any longer. And I left it off in the middle of the row and went to bed. So I cast on 104, I had 128 stitches for the back. And with me telling you what I was doing with the back, because there was too many stitches on, was bringing this part round the front a little bit. So I had to work out how many stitches, and I worked it out working from the top down, how many stitches I was left with for the back, and how many stitches I had decreased and how many I had cast off and that, and it brought it down to 104 stitches to get it to the size to fit in that panel part in the middle. So that's what I did. I've got 104 stitches on there. Well, I will have, but I started off with 100 and I'm increasing a couple at each side on the last row to make it up to 104. Because I always have a few less stitches on the rib, and you usually increase a little bit before you start the body bit. That keeps the rib a little bit tighter. But at least I've got started on that last night for a change. I like it when I can do things for myself. And so I'm going to carry on with this like I'm saying until I do my tea, and then I'll be doing a bit of my own, and then tomorrow I'll be doing a bit more of the tutorial on that. I've just done a little bit of a video, and I've shown how many stitches I cast on. I think it was 53. Yes, I've cast on 53 stitches, so I've shown how many stitches I cast on and how much rib I've done, and then how to do the pattern, showing that the two rows of the pattern. And then when I get up to the armholes, I'll do a little bit more, but that'll be tomorrow now. I'm not doing any more of that one now. And that's what I'll do a little bit, because it is quite quick to knit those little ones like that. So that's just my little bit for today. I'm going to carry on doing a little bit more crochet. I'm going to have my tea, and then I'll be sitting down knitting my own, so I'll get a little bit more of my own done tonight. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.